Welcome back to Heart of the Woods. In the last episode, we became the Fairy Queen, or rather, Maddie became the Fairy Queen, temporarily, hopefully, and we brought Abigail and Maddie back to the physical plane to meet with Tara and Morgan to start planning how to defeat Evelyn before she's able to destroy the woods entirely and gain full power. So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. My current predictions for the story is that Galadura is the missing Fairy Queen, and that we're very close to the end. Chapter 5 feels like it's going to be the final chapter. I don't know if this will be the final episode or not, but we're definitely nearing the end. I can feel it. And I do have some more things I want to talk about regarding the game and the development and other stuff, but I think I'm going to leave that for the end. So let's just get on with it. We are currently from the perspective of Morgan. We just switched perspective because Morgan brought Abigail into a private room, Tara's bedroom to be exact, so that Tara and Maddie could, get some private time together after everything that happened. Okay. I end up bringing Abigail into Tara's room. The two of us carefully step over the pile of clothes on the floor to sit on the bed. She bounces on it a few times. I don't think she's used to springs. Wait, why are the clothes on the floor? They moved out of the cabin like a week ago. Oh well. Having fun? How do you people sleep in these? Aren't you afraid of just bouncing out of bed? It's not that bouncy, it's just comfortable. I suppose tomorrow I can let you know if I agree. So, what is it you wanted to talk about? It's hard to put it into words. No matter what I'd been preparing myself for, a conversation like this wasn't part of it. It's about family. Our family. You're a Dalsing as well? I'm a Fisher, actually, but a change in last name doesn't change the fact that we're part of the same family. Yeah, because I was kind of expecting this. I wasn't sure. But I had a feeling that it was something like this going on. They had the same eye color. They had like such different hair color. I wasn't sure if I was reading into nothing, because that's normally how you can tell when like fiction tries to tell you these are related. It's hair color they go for first. But I guess like rose pink hair is not that far away from like redhead, I guess. At first, I couldn't believe it. When Maddie and Abigail were telling their story, I thought that there must have been some sort of misunderstanding or that I heard wrong. But the details are all matched up. Not just with what Evelyn's told me over the years, she tried to break my spirit, but with the notes and journals left behind by those before me. So she hasn't changed after all these years. It's still us. Yeah. I'm supposed to be next. There isn't anyone else. No siblings or aunts or uncles. Just me and her. She makes a sound of sympathy and moves closer to me on the bed, touching my shoulder gently. I tense up, almost shaking hard enough to shrug her off, but she remains. I don't want to be that person anymore. The one afraid to let anyone close, physically or emotionally. I'm sorry. I just nod. I can tell she doesn't know what to say either, and that's fine. Do you mind if I ask you something? Sure. Why didn't you leave? Back in my time, it wasn't even a possibility. There was no way I could have escaped. We wouldn't have gotten very far if we tried. But now, Madison's told me all about all sorts of fantastic machines and devices. Surely you could have gone. I shrug. Of course I considered it, dreamed about it even, but there's no way she could know that. And besides, I thought about running away many times. I thought of a lot of different ways to make sure she couldn't hurt me anymore. But at the same thing stopped me every time. She wouldn't just give up because I'm not around. She'd find someone else, just like she always has. And they'd die instead. I brace for her to tell me that's ridiculous and that I should put myself first, or to burst into tears at the very notion. Instead, she laughs. It's not a happy laugh, though. I see. I understand. Truly. I chose to die for someone else's sake as well. Someone I cared about very deeply. She sighs wistfully, remembering days long gone. I can't help but smile, the same way that she laughed. I see I'm just carrying on family tradition, then. Let's make sure it ends with you. I nod. It will, one way or another. I'm glad, though. Know that our family turned out to have people as wonderful as you. I'm really not anything that special. I disagree. Not just anyone could have done what you have. She leans forward, wrapping her arms around me in a gentle hug. This time I don't hesitate. I hug her back. Family. It's never been a word that really meant much to me. All I've ever had was the monster in my home. Now though, I realize that's no longer the case. We separate and I gesture towards the door. She nods. Together, we leave the room and rejoin the rest of our family. Oh, that's beautiful. This game better not pull any shit and like kill off any of these girls now. Like, no, they all need to be happy together. Okay. Abigail and Morgan come out of Tara's room and join us. Both what? Wait, this is from Morgan's perspective. Why is she talking about herself in third person? Heart of the Woods. Did you forget to do perspective change? Okay, so apparently we're doing Maddie's now. I read about this in the patch notes. I thought they fixed it. Maybe it's the upcoming patch that's going to fix it. So we're back to Maddie now. Abigail and Morgan come out of Tara's room and join us, both smiling. I'll have to ask her what they talked about later tonight. But right now, I'm just enjoying the moment. I feel more at peace than at any time since arriving in Eisenfeld. Even during the sweetest moment with Abigail, there was still this lingering bleakness of being a ghost. Now, despite the threat of Evelyn, it feels like there's a chance of everything turning out well. As we talk, Morgan's cat comes and hops up on my lap. I would have expected her to take to Abigail, not me. Finally! Galadura's here. I scratch behind her ears and she leans into the motion, purring contentedly. Tara notices and sits up straight. Wait a sec, Mads! I just realized you haven't met Galadura yet, right? I have. Back in the shop right after we arrived, remember? No, I mean like, met her. Morgan was right, she really can talk. She can? I can. The cat looks up from my lap, staring into my eyes. Her tail swishes lazily. If I feel like it. Both Abigail and I stare in shock at the talking cat. Then, why didn't you sooner? It's the first question that comes to mind. Galadura closes her eyes. After a moment I start to think that she's fallen asleep, but then she opens them once more. I didn't feel like it. I look over at Morgan, sitting across from me. I guess I owe you an apology. It's fine. She certainly didn't make it easy to believe. Galadura stands up. Her tail lashing, she strides over to drape herself across Abigail. In response, Abigail strokes Galadura's fur, looking almost as gleeful as when we had our first meal. I didn't know if I could trust you. Now I know. I leave the two of them to the cooing and cuddling and walk over to the front window, peering outside. How many times have I stared at the stars these past few nights? Abigail taught me a few constellations, but tonight, it looks like an entirely different sky. I rest my head against the window pane, soaking in the starlight and calm. Hey, by the way, you said you only came into the village the one time, right? Yeah, we didn't want to risk it any more than that. Not with how close we came to Evelyn. Makes sense. You, didn't see anything embarrassing when you were spying on us, right? We weren't spying. Or at least we weren't trying to. But no, thank God. Oh, phew. I mean, I was hoping that was going to happen. That reminds me, by the way, it turns out that the 18 plus patch does indeed add additional scenes that are not safe for work. I've decided what I'm going to do with that is after I've played through the game, I'm going to check the scenes and see how censorable they are for YouTube, and that will decide whether or not I play them. For real though, after it's over, but before we leave, you've got to show us some of the cool spots in the forest. Sure, that'd be fun. Actually, do you want to go right now? Wait, for real? I can show you the fairy clearing, at least. That's our favorite spot. How long a walk is it? It's getting kinda late. Oh, we wouldn't need to walk. Tara's face slowly morphs from puzzlement to excitement as she realizes what I'm suggesting. You mean like... magic? I nod. Oh, hell yeah! That wasn't even Tara's voice, that was more like Galadura's voice there. Her enthusiasm startles Galadura, who hops up and runs away. Abigail gestures in vain for her to come back. You two up for a field trip? Abigail, still upset at losing her new friend, nods stiffly and says nothing. Sure. Galadura traipses back in, returning to Abigail's feet. Abigail perks up immediately. Would you like to come with us, Miss Galadura? I suppose so. Carry me. Abigail gladly obliges. I lead everyone outside and into the tree line. Just in case there's anyone watching, I gather everyone into a circle, and the four of us lock hands while Galadura perches on Abigail's neck. Okay, 3, 2, 1... The forest greets me, and I respond in kind. It shows us the way to its heart, to the lake. I hold Abigail and Tara's hands tightly, and breathe the softest sigh. I thank the forest, then... I open my eyes and we're here. As soon as we arrive, I can feel the presence of the fairies in my mind. They're instantly aware of where we are, and I send them all a mental greeting, which is returned right away. Galadura slicks her ears back, and her tail begins to lash harder than before. I wonder if she can feel magic too. Before I can ask, Tara whistles in awe. Dang, Mads, you really leveled up, huh? I put all my skill points into magic. Even Morgan looks dumbstruck. Something I'm not used from her. She tilts her head back, staring in open-mouthed wonder at the glimmering trees and fairy lights. What is this place? Are we really still in the forest? Yes, it's a very special grove. It was one of the first places I brought Madison. We came back here many times. It definitely feels magical. Damn it, I should have brought my camera. We all head down to the pond. Tara and Morgan gawk at the unfrozen waters, the same way I did when I first saw it. I feel a strange sense of pride seeing them so excited about this place. A loud buzzing sound suddenly fills the air. Before I can warn Tara and Morgan what's about to happen, fairies burst forth from the trees. Tara yelps in shock as they pass over her, wings beating noisily. Your Majesty! You're back! You've returned! Hello, you three. It's nice to be greeted so enthusiastically. Even if I didn't exactly want to be queen, I wave, expecting the three of them to come to me right away. But to my surprise, the fairies sailed right past me and flock around Abigail instead. Our queen! Galadura hisses as Abigail shrinks back, looking afraid. I'm not your queen. She's over there. Abigail tries to point to me, but the fairies ignore her. No, you're not. We know you aren't. It isn't you. One of them reaches for Galadura, and she swats the fairies with one paw, just like Abigail did when we first encountered them. The fairies react with shocked indignance, and their mouths open in identical shapes of puzzlement. They abandon verbal communication and instead emanate a wave of questioning curiosity. Although I can feel it, it's not directed at me. By listening, or rather by feeling, I realize who they're communicating with. Galadura. Whoa. Just to be sure I'm right, I communicate a request for confirmation. Despite her discomfort, Galadura returns to me from Abigail's arms, blinking languidly. Yes, that's right. Now I'm the one whose jaw drops in shock. Care to fill us in, Mads? Galadura, Fairy Queen. Everyone is silent for a moment, even the fairies. Then Abigail clears her throat. Does that mean I should set you down, then? No. This is fine. Wait a second. A little seed of hope blooms instantly within my heart. The fairies answer my question before I can even think it. The seed of hope withers and dies in response. Maddie? I close my eyes tightly. I see Galadura in my mind's eye, and the rest of the world fades as I speak to her. Once again, the fabric of time tears and disappears. The fairies guide our voices. Galadura can't be Fairy Queen. Not anymore. Not after what the Moonsick one did to her. Evelyn. The last pieces of the puzzle fall into place. I see clearly. Evelyn, the rogue fairy, burning under the moonlight. The Fairy Queen ritual gone wrong. Galadura running after Evelyn. and then disappearing. Without realizing it, I reached out for Galadura, stroking her fur. The fairies and I communicate with the heart of the woods. Title drop! To free her and restore her rightful place on the throne. The woods usher forth its strength. The fairies conglomerate around us, the buzzing increasing in frequency until it's a dull hum. I reach within myself. The waxing moon basks the scene, and I gather its light into a pool of my hands. Reaching out, I feel the magic on Galadura begin to vibrate violently. It burns to the touch. Galadura yowls in pain, and all at once the magic shatters and melts away. With a gasp, I'm back to the present. Abigail rushes over to catch me, and the effect of time return. Their interest in the obsolete queen waning, the fairies clump back up and get ready to depart. We'll see you soon again, and when the moon is at its brightest, one way or another. With that cheerful reminder, they take off, fading out of sight. I separate their thoughts from my own and push them away. Madison, what happened? I take a deep breath and steady myself. Abigail scoops up the pained Galadura into her arms, petting and cooing. It's a long story. I'll tell you later. Galadura, are you alright? Yes. It was foolish to think you, New Spring Queen, could dispel such a powerful curse on a waxing moon. Galadura turns away and grooms herself. I feel a rush of guilt. Tara touches my arm slightly. You okay, Mads? Yeah, I'm fine. She grins and pats my back, trying to ease the mood. She stretches wide and lets out a huge nervous laugh. Good! Well, that wasn't anything like I expected. The fairies especially. What did you think they'd be like? I have no idea, but it definitely didn't involve your cat being a queen. I would have gotten you the nicer cat food if I'd known. Yo, Gelato, how come you never told us you were a fairy queen? Galadura doesn't even deign to look at Tara. You never asked. As soon as we arrive back at the cabin, Abigail makes a mad dash towards the couch and flops down over with a loud thud. I'm a little surprised by how quickly she covers the distance. Galadura leaps from her arms and trucks over to the kitchen, immediately sticking her face in the food bowl. Oh, my feet! Are they sore? I can imagine walking around again after so long might be a bit draining. No, it's not that. It's these boots. Abigail kicks off her boots and sends them flying, eliciting a yelp of surprise from Tara as one of the boots nearly hits her dead on. Your feet are bigger than mine. Do you have any idea what it feels like to get snow in your boots for the first time in 200 years? The three of us shudder in unison at the thought. Tara takes another step away from the boot, as if she's afraid of infecting her with cold feet. I can tell you right now that when we go to America, I'm going to be spending the entirety of the winter months indoors. I can't help grinning at her words. Even if it wasn't entirely serious, that's the first time I've heard her speak about our future together with that much certainty. I make my way to the couch and sit down beside her, putting my arm around her without a second thought. She leans against me, our bodies perfectly aligned. When the summer months roll around, I'm definitely taking you ladies to the beach. Abigail instantly perks up at that, clasping her hands together and leaning towards Tara with a huge grin on her face. Yes! Goodness, the sand, the sun, I'd love to see the ocean. Morgan seems a little less enthusiastic about the prospect of the beach, her face an expression more of concern than excitement. If we go to the beach, I'm going to end up looking like a lobster. Yeah, but you'd be a really hot lobster. I try as hard as I can to suppress a groan, but Morgan and Abigail both chuckle. Abigail I can understand, but the fact that Morgan generally finds this kind of thing endearing is baffling. Thanks, babe. So, Abigail, what's the most interesting invention you've seen since you come back? I suppose I haven't seen much of it, but the internet seems like a wonderful tool. I love the idea of being connected and sharing thoughts, feeling and creativity with everyone around the world. My girl! There isn't a single person more qualified to teach you about the internet than I am. We're gonna have a blast. There is no way I'm going to let you be the one to show her around the web. You get into enough trouble on your own. But Madison, doesn't Tara perform on the internet? I assume that means she's very knowledgeable about its workings. Tara raises an eyebrow and leans down and places her hands on the table, staring closely at Abigail. So, Mads told you about Paranormal, huh? Oh no. She told me some things. I know you tell stories about supernatural occurrences and that you take them very seriously, even when they're obviously quite untrue. Did she now? Sweetie, maybe we should. And then she told me that people all over the world enjoy watching you. It sounds like you must be an incredible storyteller. Nice save. Tara breaks into a massive grin that she always puts on when she knows she's found a new audience. You don't know the half of it, Abby. I've got 1,000,000 of them. I roll my eyes and lean back at the couch. Abigail just moves closer, ready to hear whatever Tara's going to say next. Just looking at her feels healing. If listening to Tara's story makes her happy, then Tara can tell as many stories as she wants. Not that I ever tell Tara that, of course. One story turns to another. Morgan and I will chime in with a correction every now and then, but we mostly let Tara work her magic. Abigail keeps asking questions, and Tara keeps eating them up. If Morgan's anything like me, she must be enjoying seeing the girl she loves acting so happy. I know I am. I don't know what's going to happen after this. We're still in danger. We still don't have a way out. But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy our time together. All of us. I just wish I could shake the feeling that this is the last time we'll have this chance. We stay like this for a while, telling stories, making jokes, and most importantly, talking about our future. Whether it's about to happen or not, talking about it puts us all at ease. We talk about sharing technology with Abigail, getting her and Morgan new wardrobes, where we're going to go on dates when we get back. In those moments, it all feels real, like we're remembering moments that haven't happened yet. Eventually, the sun begins to dip below the horizon. We have another huge meal, to Abigail's delight. Afterward, Tara tells her even more stories as Morgan and I clean up after them. I'm not sure if the four of us are going to stay in one apartment for long after we get back, but I think I'd really enjoy being around Tara and Morgan. Not as much as I enjoy being around Abigail, of course, but enough enjoyment to make me want to stick with them. In time, Abigail starts to yawn and blink warily as Tara talks. She hasn't had a chance to sleep since she got her body back, so she's no doubt unprepared for the strength of the body's need to rest. When the sun finally sets, we say our goodbyes and head for the room. I'm already looking forward to tomorrow. Now we're shifting from Morgan to... Morgan! Yeah, okay. Now we're back to Morgan, and now that means the UI is correct again. I close the door to Tara's room and lean against it to steady myself. I'm still trying to process everything that happened. I have family. Real family. Family that doesn't want to hurt me. And I'm not just talking about Abigail. When I was watching the three of them talk and laugh together, I felt like I was home. Like this is where I've always belonged. Hey, you okay? Tara's sitting on the bed in front of me, looking at me with curious eyes. Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry. Just trying to wrap my head around all this. I get you. There's a lot to unpack. You can take your time with it. She scratches the back of her neck, giving me a nervous smile. I guess that means now isn't really a good time to talk, huh? What do you mean? I wanted to talk to you about something, or ask you about something. I don't know. It can wait if you want to work on getting your stuff sorted. Is something wrong? No, I mean, I don't think so. I've just been thinking about some stuff. Like? Tara takes a deep breath and scoots back onto the bed. She curls her legs up towards herself, taking on a surprisingly subdued posture. It's, well... You know how Abby's been calling us a couple all day, even though we told her we're not? Yeah, she's not very good at taking hints. I'm not sure that's it. I think she's just, like, direct. Kinda like you. Runs in the family, I guess. I know we agreed that we were going to stay friends, or whatever you call this, until this was all over. I get that. But after seeing the two of them, I'm not sure I feel like that anymore. We still got a lot of shit left to deal with. We still don't have a plan, but I think that's okay. She shrugs half-heartedly and looks down. I want to give her a hug, but I can't move. Abby put a name on this thing we have when we couldn't, and maybe she's wrong, but I don't want her to be. I really love you, Morgan. I don't want to deny that. I just want to be closer than just friends that love each other. I don't. The word leaves my mouth before I have a chance to think about it. What? Please don't ask. I'm sorry, I thought it's not that I don't want to. That's why I'm asking you not to say it. Because I know I'll say yes if you do. She looks up at me. I can practically hear the cogs turning in her head. Why don't you want to say yes? People get hurt when they get close to me. I don't even like having friends because of how guilty I feel when Evelyn gets in the way. I'm already so close to you. Closer than I've ever been to anyone. If I put a label on it, a part of me just feels like I would put you in more danger. I feel so stupid saying it aloud. It's just a word. Why am I so afraid of a word? Besides, I've never had a girlfriend before. I don't know what it could mean for me or for you. What do you mean? What about the one who taught you how to knit? Oh no. How could I have forgotten about that lie? It was just so easy to say back then. It made me seem like I knew what I was doing. Made it easier to ignore what happened with those girls. Terrace understood everything about me, but I still don't want to tell her about what I did with them, or why I did it. Hey, it's cool. I have plenty of girls lie about having girlfriends before. It's just a thing people do sometimes. We just forget about it. We're past lies now, right? Her words stabbed at me like needles. It's not like she's trying to force this out of me. I could even tell myself this isn't a lie, but it's just not telling her about something she never asked about. There's more to it than a simple lie. Wait, what am I saying? What am I doing? There are still things I haven't told you about me, about what I've done, things that could make you change your mind. Tara manages a weak smile. It's hard to be reassuring when you don't know what you're reassuring someone about. If you don't want to date, that's okay, I get it. But nothing you can tell me is going to change how I feel about you. She sits forward again and pats the spot on the bed next to her. Right now, I'd rather be miles away from her, not closer. I hate feeling like this. I finally learned how to get close to people, and now I'm back to pushing her away. Do you remember what I called myself the first time we talked to Galadora? A shell. But you know that's bullshit, right? We're going to make sure Evelyn can't get in your head anymore. Evelyn isn't the only one that made me feel that way. My throat feels dry. I need something to drink, but I know what will happen if I stop. If this closes, it won't open again. I didn't learn how to knit from an ex-girlfriend. I learned from Hannah. I had feelings for her. We were close, but she cut off all contact with me when I told her how I felt. Word travels fast in Isenfell. Within a week, everyone in the village knew I was gay. That's when bad things started happening to Hannah. She slipped on a patch of ice and broke her leg. A few days later, her dog died. The next week, she came down with the worst flu any of us had ever seen. I knew it was Evelyn's doing, but who was going to believe me? As far as they were concerned, all this happened because she rejected me. I'm pretty sure some of the older people in the village still think I'm a witch. I clenched my fist, digging my nails as far into my palm as they go before my limbs freeze up. As far as they'll go until the icy hex within me takes over again. Nobody talked to me for a month. You told me that you spoke to some girls our age back when you were doing interviews. Did you ask them about me? Well, yeah, we did. What did they say? Nothing really bad or anything. One of them seemed closer to you than the other two, and her friends were kind of teasing her about it, just typical stuff. As if any of them had a right to mock each other. They're all the same. I probably slept with her. I wait for Tara to voice her disbelief, but she doesn't say a word. After Hannah got better, girls started coming by the store. They always had some kind of excuse. They started dropping hints, talk about how they'd always been curious about what it'd be like with a girl, how they didn't have anywhere else to be that day. I still can't look at her. Any rational person would judge me for this. I know I've judged myself plenty. They always left right after. Most of them wouldn't talk about it, they just go back to their normal lives. I guess some of them talked though. Soon enough, I got a reputation. I knew I was being used. I resigned myself to being a shell, so I let them use that shell. I don't know when I started moving, but before I know it, I'm standing by the bed. Evelyn never let me feel like this body belonged to me. She shows my clothes, she shows my style. She even shows what I do with my hair. It was her body, and she wanted it how she liked it. I can't keep standing. As much as I want to push away, I sit down next to Tara. Looking at her face, I can tell her what she's thinking. My mind runs through every worst-case scenario as I make myself push onward. But things have been different with you. For the first time, sex started to mean something. Being open started to seem possible. Being myself started to seem possible. But all I know about myself is how easy it is for other people to use me. If I go out into the world and live for myself, I don't know what kind of person I'm going to become. The shaking has started to subside, replaced by a painful knot in my gut. Almost there, I can make it. What if I end up becoming someone you can't love? What if my shell is the only worthwhile part of me? Without warning, Tara throws her arms around me and pulls me close. I wrap my arms around her waist without even thinking. You're not a shell, Morgan. You're the furthest thing from that. Just because someone tried to make you something other than yourself, or because people took advantage of you, that can't destroy the real you. The you that's always been there. And I know it a lot better than you might think. She nuzzles my head. Now I'm making up words that aren't even there. She nuzzles my neck, and I can feel the dampness of her cheeks. She's crying. You got passion. You got personality, you got conviction. You got so much awesome stuff in you. I can't even name it all if you gave me a whole week. All of that is the real you. And that's the girl I'm in love with. The girl I want to be with, no matter what. And I want to put a name on it so you know that'll never change. We pull apart, and she wipes the tears from her eyes. I don't really know a non-sheaths way to put it, so... Will you be my girlfriend? If you're okay with everything I've done, with everything I still have to do, then how could I say no? Tara instantly lets out a long wheeze and clutches her hands to her chest. Is she okay? You good? Yeah, I'm good. Just give me a minute. I feel like my body's trying to overcome being allergic to commitment right now. I awkwardly pat her on the shoulder. It's obvious that neither of us have any idea what you're supposed to do in a situation like this. Tara grabs me by the waist and gently leads us over to bed. I press my forehead against hers, and for once, allow myself to be comforted. She strokes my hair. Time slows to a standstill. We kiss. This could be our last night together. But in a way, it's our first night together too. And I'm going to make the most of it. I wonder if that's where the one of the sex scenes are. I hold Tara close in my arms. She's nestled close to me. The sun is long gone, but the moon is bright enough to illuminate her smile. I'm smiling too. I close my eyes and let myself relax. I think I might actually sleep well tonight. Yeah, there's obviously a scene missing there, so that's probably where probably where one of the two sex scenes are. I'm guessing the other sex scene will be Maddie and Abigail, which, I mean, I don't know where that would be. Maybe that's also here? I don't know. But as always, luck isn't on my side. Oh. Hey. What? Do you hear that? I strain my ears and see if I can sense anything out of the ordinary. But apart from the usual sounds of the forest, it's silent. I can't hear anything. Maybe you dreamed it? Unless this is a dream, it's definitely real. I can hear it right now, I swear. I sit up in bed and look over at her. She's already most of the way up, head swaying as she looks up for the source of whatever she's hearing. Well, what does it sound like? Kinda like a... She makes a strange whooshing noise and twirls her arms around. I don't see how arm movements are part of the sound, but I doubt I'd understand what she's talking about no matter how she put it. She looks back at me for confirmation, but all I can do is shrug. In response, she jumps out of bed and starts pulling her clothes on. I'm gonna go see what it is. You coming? Whether or not the sound is real, I can't let her go off on her own. I promise I'll protect her. And that includes protecting her from mysterious noises. Right behind you. Besides, as powerful as Maddie is, there's still a chance Evelyn could be trying something. I follow her out of bed and pull on my shoes. She gives me a quick grin in response, excited to have me along for the ride again. Tara bolts at the door as I finish tying my laces. A second later, I hear her banging on the door to Maddie and Abigail's room. Mads! Are you guys making that noise? I pull on my sweater and walk into the hall, in time to see Maddie slowly open the door of her room, covering herself with a blanket. Okay. Maddie, it's nearly 2 in the morning. Whatever this is, can it wait until morning? Come on, not you too! I thought it was coming from your room! Abigail's voice calls out from the room, along with the rustling of sheets. What was coming from our room? Are you kidding me? She turns and storms away from the door, moving out into the kitchen. I nod apologetically at Maddie before following Tara. Babe, come on, let's just go back to bed. I'm sure that whatever it is can wait until morning. It keeps getting louder, though. What if it's something dangerous? Maybe Evelyn has her own evil forest spirit that she's riding it towards a cabin or something. There's a pang in my heart. It's cold and familiar. If the sound is that loud, but none of us can hear it, maybe it's only meant for her to hear. As I try to figure out how to get her back to bed, Matt and Abigail join me in the hallway. So, what's she doing this time? She woke up hearing some kind of whooshing noise that I couldn't hear. I thought she just imagined it, but she can still hear it. Maddie rubs her shin, puzzled. Abigail looks out at Tara with a worried expression. I can't shake the unsettling feeling in my chest either. This isn't the first time something like this has happened, so I'd be inclined to dismiss it, but with everything else that happened this month... Before she can finish her sentence, Tara turns towards the door. There! It's right outside! Abigail realizes it first. She steps towards Tara, reaching out her hand. Tara, don't! What if it's... Oh no. No. I'm an idiot. Why didn't I figure it out sooner? Tara, stay away from the door! She doesn't look back. As she takes another step towards the door, I will myself to start moving again. Now you guys are actually going to be able to see what I'm talking about. You're going to feel so dumb for doubting me. I'm running towards her, but it's too late. She grabs the handle and throws the door open. Wait, what? There's nothing outside. Maybe that sight will be enough to bring her back to her senses. The sound's gone. It was right there. She turns back to look at me. I'm only a couple of steps away and I can see the expression on her face. She's terrified. Babe! What? A flash of light fills the room. I'm stopped dead in my tracks as I raise my arm to cover my eyes. Tara! The light dissipates, and my eyes slowly readjust. In the haze, my fears are confirmed. She's gone. Tara's gone. I'm frozen. I can't process what's happening. I'm not sure how long the tears start rolling down my face before I notice them. Mad and Abigail look at me in silence, and then I start screaming. I've never made a sound like this. It's an angry roar that fills the cabin. No! Morgan, it was supposed to be me! It's happening again, just like everyone before her. I love her, and now because of me, I collapse to the ground. Not her! Please! Hot tears fall from my cheeks to the floor below. I feel a pair of arms wrap around me and a voice in my ear. Abigail? What? No. Morgan, it's okay. It'll be okay. I slowly turn toward her. She and Maddie both stand close to me. I can see how worried they are for Tara and for me. Maddie puts her hand on my shoulder. I flinch, but I don't pull away. She's still alive. I can feel it. Whatever just happened didn't kill her, but it did move her. I can't figure out where yet, but I can sense her somehow. You're sure? I'm sure. We can find her. I think I know where she might be. Where? If it was Evelyn who took her, she most likely brought her to the church. That's what she performed the ritual to... She trails off, but I know what she's about to say. The transfer ritual. She wants Tara's body. But why her? That's what she was bracing me for. Why would she take her? I'm not sure, but I got a feeling there's only one way to find out. I hope we have more time to come up with an actual plan before we have to face her, but we can't just let her have Tara. I'm already heading for the door. Maddie and Abigail follow close behind. We can figure out something on the way. Let's go. We'll think of something. We have to. This time, it's going to be different. I'm not going to let Evelyn win again. I'm getting Tara back, no matter the cost. And this time, I'm going to make sure Evelyn never hurts anyone again. For better or for worse. This is the end. Chapter 6, apparently. Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, this is the end of the episode. Yeah, no, we're not even gonna read that line. Holy shit. This is definitely close to the end. So, I was going to bring up a little thing. So, there's actually a little, there's some additional content for this game. It's not DLC. The demo version has a unique little extra prologue story, which apparently I believe focuses on Tara, and some additional mini scenes that that fill in some story. So I'm considering maybe getting the demo to look at those scenes. And there's also a Tara Normal game, which is a very short visual novel that Rachel, the writer, or at least co-writer of Heart of the Woods, made last Halloween. That's free to download. And I'm definitely playing the Tara Normal game after this. But yeah. Now we're definitely in the last stretch, so Chapter 6? We'll do that tomorrow. See ya.